What happened here?
Horror of horrors, Master. We were attacked by...
Jesus Christ.
That's right. The Almighty has sent this punishment on...
And the disease? Tell me something about it.
I don't want to tempt fate by talking about it. It makes me shudder to think of it. There's not much to tell, anyway. It hit us just after that rabble left. First the horses died, then...
I'm looking for Matthias. I think he works at the stud here.
Matthias?
Not long, it's true.
Well, those bastards got him. He's laid up at the stud now. His arm's in a bad way, but at least he's...
Thank you. These bandits, who were they?
Some thieving rabble. What do I know? Maybe those damned Cumans, but they spoke Czech. Ask the captive at the Melikars.
How did you manage to fight them off?
Well, we were lucky. Young Straw saw the gang a little way out of the village and ran to warn old Melikar. If it wasn't for that, none of us would be here.
It looks like you fended them off, though. I can't see any burned houses.
They had no time for that. But they've left us with fresh graves. Young Straw himself got cut up something terrible, and a few others. With a number of wounded, and now the plague to crown it all.
Where will I find Melikar?
If you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, Melikar's is the house on the left.
I'd like to talk to Straw.
I see. Well, if you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, you'll see Straw's house on the right.
Melikar, Straw. Those names are new to me.
They're locals. Melikar's been in charge here since old vassal Smill from Neuhoff passed away. May God grant him eternal peace. And
Thank you, that's all.
up, Henry? Henry, I'm glad you came.
God. May the Lord watch over you.
How are you, Henry?
Well, the Lord be praised. What's on your mind?
I brought the roan, my lady.
That's wonderful. There weren't any problems with it, I hope.
Nothing too serious. He's a little wild, but I was able to handle him in the end.
Well, that won't do. Sophie can't have some wild horse at her wedding starting a stampede.
But I've learnt a trick. If you sing to him, he calms down.
You sang to a horse?
It's quite true, I'm afraid. I sang to a horse.
Well, then you'll have to sing something to me, too.
My lady,
So I know how to calm down that
Two horses come roaming in the merry month of May to graze in the shade of the apple tree there. The first one is brown and the second is grey. Which shall I ride to, my maiden so fair?
Oh, how beautiful! I'm not surprised the horse calmed down after hearing such a lovely voice. Anyway, I'll think about what to do with the roan.
I brought you the crown from the mastering.
Henry, you are a gem. Look at that Moldavite. Isn't it wonderful? Sophie will look... So what's next?
I brought the wine.
Wonderful, wonderful. No wedding is complete without good wine. Find somewhere here to put it down. I'll send for a servant to bring it later. I hope you had no problems acquiring it.
Problems? Huh. I don't know the meaning of the word.
As if I didn't know you.
What? What the hell is he doing? God's sake!
God save. Can I help you with anything?
What can I do for you, my lady?
Nothing. You've done enough. And now I'd like to reward you.
That's not necessary, my lady. You taking the time to see me is reward enough.
Come now, Henry. No need for such modesty. I appreciate everything you've done for me, as well as your company. And there's something I'd like to give you. This shirt was my father's. He was built very much like you. Broad shoulders, strong chest. It should fit you just right.
But I can't accept this. It's too valuable.
It's too valuable to be left to the mercy of moths. It doesn't fit my husband well, and I've no one else to give it to. What's more, if you were to leave us again, I'd like you to have something to remember me by, so you don't forget me.
I could never forget you, my...
Well then, won't you try it on at least?
What? Right.
Why not? Don't worry,
And what if your husband comes in?
He won't.
All right, then.
I feel truly blessed to have you here. So long I yearned for young company. I really feel God heard my prayers and sent you to me.
I'm ready.
My, you do look handsome. As fine as any gentleman. When I was a little girl, there were always lots of other children around and young men and women of the court. It was so merry. I always hoped it would be like that when I was grown up too. But it was not God's plan.
You and Sir Divish had no children.
No. No, alas, we were not blessed. Twice I was with child, but they did not live. And now I fear there's no hope for me.
My lady. Oh, forgive me, my lady. I shouldn't have.
I don't mind.
save you, Henry. Henry, have you questioned that prisoner in...
Sir, there's some sort of affliction running rampant in Merhoyed.
Truly? I heard some rumblings in the tavern on the way here, but I put it down to the villagers' lively imagination. You know how the common folk love to tell tales.
I talked to the villagers. There really is some disease raging out there. The horses, the chickens, they've all died. Everything. Half the people have already caught the scourge.
Good God. So it is true.
What shall we do?
If the plague really has taken hold there, we can't do much. But there's still hope it could be something else. All right, Hal. Go to the infirmary in the monastery. The monks may know what to do.
All they're likely to do is start praying.
That's a good thing, surely. If this is indeed the plague, there's hardly anything else to be done. But we need to question that captive. We must find out more. That business with the fake groschen confirmed there's something fishy going on.
Well, I'll get going to Sasau.
Good luck, Henry. Take care.
May I be of service, my lord?
Yes, Henry. Chief Engineer Fafar has been asking for someone reliable to assist him.
The chief engineer? Is it about Scalets?
In a manner of speaking. Master Fafar has, well, evil forebodings. I think he may want to send you to the Scalets mines.
Can they really be restored?
Everything can be rebuilt with enough will and resources. Well, everything except a man. You'll get the details from Chief Engineer Fafar. For the time being, consider yourself his handyman.
Certainly. Where do I find him? Is he here in the castle?
Where? Now that's a good question. He ought to be somewhere at Perkstein unless he's gone off to deal with some problem or other. Look around. You're bound to run into him.
Well, thank you. I'll go and see him straight away.
Good luck, Hal.
Hal? You're a sight for sore eyes. What are you doing here?
It's good to see you too, Matthias. Sir Radzig sent me here to investigate the raid.
Sir Radzig? Looks like you've come up in the world, mate. You're here as his envoy?
Yeah, something like that. But that's not important right now.
Well, I'm glad to see you have a job. Lots of our old neighbors have been reduced to begging. If I were in your shoes, I'd get the hell out of here. There's some disease spreading.
Disease?
Folk are saying it's the plague. Whatever it is, it's bad. It started the day after the raid. First the horses got sick, then other animals, and now people are falling ill too.
Oh, damn! Are you alright?
Well, at least I haven't caught the sickness.
But you've been hurt.
It happened during the raid. One of those damn bandits fell on me, horse and all. My arm's badly broken, but better than a broken neck.
Tell me about the raid.
What do you want to know?
I hear one of the raiders was taken captive. I'd like to question him.
Aye, old Melachar let him have it over the head with a flail, and now he's locked up in the barn. But be careful.
Why's that?
That fucker killed young Straw, and his old man's sharpening his sickle for him. Melachar still hasn't decided what to do with him.
I can tell you what he'll do with him. He'll hand him over to Sir Radzig's envoy. Me.
I doubt Melachar will let him go willingly. The folk here are baying for blood. Lives have been lost. First the raid, and now this plague. God knows what they'll do.
Can you describe the raiders?
I don't know. They came at dusk, so you couldn't see their faces. About 20 of them. They weren't humans, though. They spoke Czech.
You talked to them?
No. They were shouting at us. They were very sure of themselves to begin with, but when we hit them in the woods, they didn't look so brave.
I know you've got courage enough for any man, but how did a bunch of untrained villagers manage to hold off armed bandits?
One of the village lads caught sight of them coming through the woods and told Melachar, who roused the whole village, and everyone grabbed what they could. Pitchforks, axes, flails, and we went out to face them.
What? You mounted an assault against them?
Aye, and that was the key. It was the last thing those whoresons expected. A few of them still managed to break through to the village, probably wanted to torch it. But even the women here were armed with what they could find, and they took the bastards by surprise.
About this sickness. When did this plague start?
The day after the raid. The horses were lying down in the stable, so we knew by afternoon they were all dead. Then other animals started getting sick, one after the other, and then people.
What are the signs that someone's getting sick?
I don't leave the house much, but folk complain of fever and shakes. Some are throwing their guts up, and others are spewing from the other end.
Has anyone died from it?
Aye, old Verba. Although he was already on his last legs, so no one knows for sure if it was the plague. Either way, the animals are dropping like flies, and
You're not allowed inside. If you want to go in, talk to Melachar. Good day to you.
I need to talk to that captive.
Sorry, no one's allowed inside. Melachar's orders.
But I'm Sir Radzig Cobbler's envoy, and I urgently need to question the captive.
I don't care if you're the Pope's envoy. I can't let you in. If you want to talk to the captive, you have to get permission from Melachar.
Are you Melikar?
Aye, that's me.
I need to speak with the prisoner.
And why is that? Who might you be?
Henry, envoy of Sir Radzig Kobyla. I'm here to investigate the attack.
I'm sorry. I have other things on my mind right now. In case you hadn't noticed, we have pestilence raging here. And Sir Radzig won't help us with that.
No one could have known what would happen.
If Sir Radzig hadn't pissed off into the woods and stayed in the camp, they would never have dared attack us.
If Sir Radzig hadn't gone into the woods, he'd have left so many to attack here that you'd never have fought them off.
It makes no odds now. We've a different problem to deal with.
If there's anything I can do, just tell me.
There's a stable hand living with us here, Matthias.
Yes, I know him.
And he knows some girl who helps out in the monastery infirmary. Johanka, I think her name is. She might know someone to turn to, if she's actually there.
It might have crossed your mind to send someone there.
People are barely venturing outside their own homes, they're so scared. And word has got around that the plague is raging here. If someone met us wandering about... And besides, you're the envoy of Sir Radzig Kobyla himself. Your word will carry more weight in the monastery than some lowly peasants.
Very well. I'll go to the monastery. It's probably our best hope.
Thank you. At least for taking the trouble. But then, even if you cared nothing for us,
if I have to go to the monastery, I need to know as much as possible about the disease. I'll definitely need to know its symptoms. They're bound to ask me that.
It's hard to say. My wife is feverish. Others have the chills. I heard some are throwing up. Others still are breaking out in sores. But why don't you see for yourself? People talk a lot.
Very well. I'll make the rounds.
I've daubed lime on the afflicted houses. But don't stay too long in though.
That I can promise you.
What the hell are you... Are you serious?
Brother, dearest brother.
No, I'm not your brother.
Then go away. I want my brother. Brother.
Yes, it's me.
Everyone is nearly here. We need to get to Skalitz for the fair. Wait, you're not my brother? You're one of those brutes. Brother! Lock the door! They're back again. Please, God, no.
Brother, don't you recognize me? It's me. Your brother. I was gone for a long time. I've come back home for Advent, remember?
Yes. Yes. I remember. I'm thirsty. Terribly thirsty. I feel like I'm burning in hell. I can drink a pitcher of water and right away I'm parched again.
Grant him a place in thy kingdom. Who are you? Can't you see we have the plague?
Please accept my condolences.
Thank you. My poor, good husband.
I'm sorry to hear that.
What do you need from me?
They sent me to the monastery for help, but I need to know how the disease shows itself.
Yes, I'll tell you everything. But first help me bury my husband. I'm too weak.
Are you mad, woman? I'm not touching a plagued carcass. Now start talking. I can't help your husband, but I can save another.
My God.
A man trying to save you. So hurry up and tell me.
All right, all right. My husband had the fever all over.
Anything else?
He had great pains in his belly. He said it felt like he'd been stuffed with rocks. He was writhing all night through. He must...
Thank you.
What am I to do now without you?
No, let me sleep.
Jesus, lad, what are you doing here? Can't you see the plague cross on the door?
I'm here because of it. The monastery sent me to help.
God bless you, boy.
I need to know exactly what you're suffering from.
Oh, I see. Well, I have a dreadful fever. My wife, too. I recall almost nothing of yesterday. I was...
Is there anything else? Apart from the feet?
Well, forgive me for saying so. The shit just pours out of me. I can't keep anything in. I'm completely...
You have my thanks.
Wait a minute, will you? I have one favour to ask.
So tell me.
I need to write my will. Can you write?
Sorry, I can't write.
Well, if you say so. Hey,